I now give the floor to Her Royal Highness Princess Ghida Talal, Special Envoy of His Majesty King Abdullah II and Chairperson of the King Hussein Cancer Foundation of Jordan.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, respiratory illnesses, individually, each one of those words is enough to send instant shivers down our spine and wreak havoc in our lives. Together, they claim the lives of 36 million people annually all over the world. Why is the world community allowing these culprits to hold our lives hostage? We do not have a minute to waste. Too much time has already been wasted. Too many people have died. Too many families have been destroyed, and too many communities have been decimated. Hiding under the seemingly innocuous name of non-communicable diseases, these four plagues, formerly close companions of the developed world, have migrated in full force to a highly vulnerable developing world. By doing so, they have invaded a world already crippled by the most rudimentary medical landscape, with no adequate resources and no proper infrastructure to deal with such a disastrous crisis. With infectious diseases rampant, developing countries struggle with all kinds of shortages and a total lack of insurance schemes. In my own country, Jordan, we have had reason to hope that change can be effected and lives can be saved. I would like to share with you a success story right from the heart of the developing world. 10 years ago, when I was first tasked by His Majesty King Abdullah II to chair the King Hussein Cancer Foundation and Center, the landscape for cancer care in Jordan was extremely bleak at best. Quality cancer treatment was almost non-existent. Only the privileged few could afford to seek life-saving treatment abroad. I myself was one of those privileged few, able to seek treatment for my husband at a cancer center of excellence in the United States. He had just been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma at the young age of 26. Had I been less fortunate, a probable death sentence would have awaited us. And the questions haunted me. Did other wives not share my anxieties, my fears about their own husbands and children? Did they not shed the same tears and endure the same sleepless nights? Of course they did. With the blessing and constant support of His Majesty King Abdullah, I was determined to give them the same chance that was given to me and to my family. 10 years on, I stand before you here today and can proudly proclaim that the center that bears the name of our late King Hussein is the only comprehensive cancer center in the entire Middle East region and is the only cancer center in the developing world to earn accreditation by JCO as a cancer-specific disease center. What were the key reasons for our success? We understood the need to prioritize. We could not take on the whole spectrum of cancer control, from prevention to treatment, extending to research and palliative care. We poured all our efforts and resources into our number one priority, providing life-saving treatment to our patients. In order to achieve that goal, we partnered with the very best institutions worldwide in cancer care. Once we had achieved this immediate goal, we were then ready to tackle the important issues of early detection and prevention. Only then would people be willing to listen to our messages of prevention. Why would anyone be interested in learning about the disease or trying to prevent it if there was no access to treatment in the first place? I urge all of us present here today to take action now, before we have a catastrophe of epic proportions on our hands. It is not a choice or an option. It is not a whim or a luxury. For our part, we in Jordan are committed to this meeting's political declaration and to implementing one national framework for NCD risk factors control. But we cannot succeed if the world community does not dedicate a global fund to assist developing countries in implementing their NCDs plans. Failing that, our ambitious plans to conquer NCDs will remain but a footnote. Isn't the figure of 350 million people dying in the next decade terrifying enough? Don't we have a moral responsibility to give a voice to those who don't have one? If anyone can do it, all of us sitting here in this room can. We are under obligation to do it, in the name of equality, in the name of justice, in the name of humanity. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank Her Royal Highness, the Special Envoy of His Majesty King Abdullah II, and Chairperson of the King Hussein Cancer Foundation of Jordan, for her statement.